Hello and welcome to Dreams of Wings, and welcome here to Old Buckenham Aerodrome. This is the latest release from Burning Blue Design, and a big thank you to them for giving me the opportunity to fly this picturesque little aerodrome and also to show it to you in this video. I've said it on every video I've ever made about Burning Blue Design. They are absolute masters at bringing to life these wonderfully historic and picturesque little aerodromes that are dotted around the UK like absolute gems. And also in featuring these kind of aerodromes in the sim, it also serves as a memorial to those who laid down their lives in the previous conflicts. It's just down to the amount of detail that Burning Blue Design put in it. I think at the end of the day we're using these places to fly in a flight simulator, but to have these places in such detail, have the atmosphere of the places, have the history of the places so well displayed, makes a huge difference, I think. Especially if you fly GA, Warbirds, that kind of thing. If you're flying at 30,000 feet in an Airbus, it's a different kettle of fish. But certainly for the kind of flying that I do, it's absolutely fantastic. So Old Buckenham Aerodrome was a US Army Air Forces base in World War II, home to the 453rd Bombardment Group. It's located near Attleborough in Norfolk, an area that's dotted with so many places like this. And the 453rd Bombardment Group Museum is based here as well. But also it's kind of a modern place as well, because it's at the forefront of sustainable aviation, and it hosts the country's first electric aircraft charging point, powered entirely by solar energy. And it makes it the fourth such facility globally. So it's that real mixture of old history, a time where the guys who were based here were having a very different experience of aviation, and now the modern aviation. So we are going to be flying from Old Buckenham in the Spitfire. It's about time I did some Warbird stuff on this channel. There's been far too much helicopters recently, I hear you say. We're going to be taking the Spit. This is, of course, Spitfires.com Gilda as she appeared until the recent repaint. This is how she appeared pretty much when I was lucky enough to fly in her and fly her for a short period. They didn't let me land her. They're quite sensible in that sense. And we are going to fly her from here to another Burning Blue Design airfield at Fenland. We're going to do a touch and go at there, and then we're going to head up to Wickenby, which is yet another Burning Blue Design aerodrome. And we will finish off there. Anyway, enough of my waffle. Let's get flying. Well, here we are, and what a beautiful view looking across an elliptical wing. It's been far too long since I've been in the Spitfire. Not been doing much warbird flying recently, mainly flying helicopters if I'm honest. And the Spit is the kind of girl that if you haven't flown her for a while, you forget the little things, and yeah, it can get interesting. So another reason for taking this flight really is to give me a bit of handling practice as well. I'm quite honest in my videos, or I like to think I am anyway. I never pretend that I'm an expert. I know some people think that because you make YouTube videos, it's because you think you know everything there is to know about an aircraft and you're showing everyone how to do it. Well, that is definitely not the case on this channel. I'm very much a flight simmer like you. I'm not trying to teach you anything. I'm just having a nice experience in the sim and bringing you along for the ride. And hopefully if any of that inspires you or just entertains you, then that's what it's all about. As simple as that. And I never really do this, but I am going to say it at this point because I've been told you have to do it once in a while. If at any point you find yourself with a little smile on your face, or nodding your head, or just enjoying the video, please do consider liking and subscribing. I hate those two words together like that because it just sounds so cheesy, but nonetheless, as a YouTuber, I'm told that you have to say that once in a while. Anyway, quick check of my physical controls. Making sure that my Wello, there we go, and we can see that the throttle, I know the throttle is good, that's good. I thought the throttle was playing up a bit then. I had to reinstall Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 recently because, well, my whole computer bricked due to a BIOS update, so everything has had to be reinstalled again, which can make things a little bit interesting. Right, anyway, so parking brake is on. Let's have the fuel cock on. Let's wallop throttle forward a little bit, or crack is the better way of saying it. Mixture full rich. And the prop. I said mixture full rich as I did the prop, and I did mixture as I did the prop, if that makes any sense. Anyway, right, that's all good. That's all good. We've got our fuel pressure warning lights come on. Just quick check again that the parking brake is on. That's all good. Let's pump up some fuel pressure. Oh, hello. Now that's interesting. Okay, my wobble pump is not working. So I wonder if that's something to do with Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 playing up. That's interesting. That's definitely not working there at all. Okay, although the light went out, so that makes me wonder if it was actually pumping as I was clicking it, but no animation or anything, or no sound. Just quickly check. Okay, we've got some sound on the switches, but the wobble pump definitely not. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to put the fuel pump on. I know you're not meant to, but I'm just going to put it on just to make doubly sure that we've put some fuel in there. The light has gone out, but because there was no animation, I'm not convinced. I should say this is the first time I've flown the Spitfire in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 since the SU2 update, so things might be interesting, and I haven't checked the forum, the FlyingIron forum, to see if there are any issues. Okay, right, so let's now quick check again of that. That's good. Okay, throttle is crackhead. Let's have the mags on, get those ready. Let's prime the engine, so I'm going to give her 8. And let's go for a start. Oh, lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. That sound. Lock the primer. It's funny, locking the primer is always one of those things, if you forget to lock the primer, someone will always point out in the comments, oh, you forgot to lock the primer. So I have. Right, quick look down here. Oil pressure's good, that's fine. Temperatures are rising nicely, and of course in the Spitfire we don't want them to rise too much because then it gets well dodgy. We have got the door just on the lap so that the canopy doesn't come flying forward. The wind is 12 knots from 048. I think what I'm going to do is, yeah, we'll take the hard runway, I think. The grass runway here is quite short, and for my first takeoff in a while I'm going to take the longer hard runway. Okay, quick look down here. How is that looking? Yeah, so our gyro looks like it's pretty well tied up to our compass. I'm just going to adjust it slightly. There we go, and everything else is tickety-boo. We are on live weather, so actually I'm going to quickly go onto my little nav map and let's see if I can get the QNH. Get the damn thing to, there we go, QNH 1022. All the time the engine is warming up, matey boy, you need to get going. Right. Okay. Let's park the brake off. We can check the brakes. Brakes are good. And let's see if I can remember how to taxi this on the ground. Right, let's just get the head tracking. That's better. Okay. Oh, I love this aeroplane. Absolutely love it. Right, let's have a look and make sure we're not going to bash into any signs or anything, because that's just damn embarrassing. Right, there's the run-up area. Let's just spin around. We will do a quick mag check. All my waffling on the ground, she has got rather hot, so we don't want to spend too much time doing this. Yeah, that's alright, happy with that. Very conscious that we are getting quite hot. And in fact, something I'm going to do is let's just open up the radiator flap. It has got an automatic radiator, this bit, but seeing as we are getting rather hot, I'm going to do that. And let's also put the fuel pump on. There we go. Okay, how are we looking? All good. Let's get some down trim on. Something else I need to set up is I've got the excellent Authenticate throttle quadrant and trim wheel. But in losing my sim, I lost all that as well, all my software setup. So I've got to spend some time getting all that kit put back in, because that really just adds the extra thing to it. Now this is interesting, we've got a runway with a whole stack of hay bales in the distance. Now there's plenty of room, but it does focus the mind a bit. We are very hot, a bit too hot for takeoff. I'm sure someone will have already pointed that out to me in the comments, but we're going to go. Gear up, hop over the hay bales. Oh yeah. Let's come back on the RPM. Let's have a look at Old Buckenham from the air. What a gorgeous day for doing this. The Spit is one of those aircraft that whenever I get into it, I always think, why the hell don't I spend all my time in this? And flying around airfields like this, my God, this is what it's about. This is what it's about. How wonderful. Adjusting the engine a little bit again. If you fly here in real life, by the way, I'd love to know what you think. I think it's always interesting with the Burning Blue design airfields. They're so realistic and so atmospheric that people quite often comment in the videos that you know, I go there, I learn to fly there, I go there for a fry up on a Saturday, and I recognise it. So I'd love to know what you think. Right, okay, let's try and get ourselves organised now. So we are going to be heading to Fenland. So let's configure for cruise. I'm going to leave boost at 2. I'm going to bring the RPM back to 2000. Don't need to drag the engine. Let's do some trimmage. If I didn't say it before, I love this aeroplane. I really do. If only FlyingIron would do a Mustang. I'm going to say it. If only they would do a Mustang. quick look around. We've got a little bit of drag because we've got our radiator open full, so I'm going to a little bit of no, wrong one, there we go, a little bit of turbulence, that's the word I'm trying to say. I'm trying to concentrate on doing things at the same time, it's never a good idea. Well, I've got to say, 2024, England, live weather is looking rather splendid today. It's that mixture of cloud, which, let's face it, we're used to in this country, and some nice lighting. The ground is looking good. We've got an elliptical wing. What could possibly be bad about this? By the way, good opportunity to say also we have a new Discord. I'll put a link to that down below if you fancy coming along and saying hello. I shall see you there. We've got a section on warbirds, a section on helicopters and a section on GA, and every now and again we do a group flight, although it's not scheduled, so don't join if you're expecting weekly group flights, but once in a while we do them. And I also live stream, so every now and again when I'm live streaming, people are chatting in the Discord, and sometimes people always also join the live stream as well instead of joining in the sim. So as I say, a link to that down below, and I look forward to seeing you there. Look at this! We're in a Spitfire, and we've got some horrible, nasty, murky clouds, but my God, it just adds to the atmosphere, doesn't it? How wonderful! I am so excited, if you couldn't tell, to be back in the Spit doing this kind of stuff. It really is quite wonderful. Funny, this scenery is obviously very flat, and I'm kind of reminded that in FSX or P3D, even if you had the Orbex pack, it would be wouldn't be quite so interesting. But one of the great things about this sim, of course, is the level of detail that we have on the ground. Incredible detail. So we're just under the cloud, which is a good place to be. Fenland is on the nose. Fenland is actually known for being one of the most difficult airfields to find, simply because it is just so well camouflaged by everything that is going on around it, and it's quite small, so it will be interesting to see. I know I'm pointing in the right direction. Of course, I have got a little nav map which helps me, so I'm cheating a little bit. Yeah, it's a lovely little place. There's a really busy atmosphere here in the real world, and there's fly-ins and all that sort of stuff. And it is a nice little spot. I did a video some time ago in a Tiger Moth here, and the Tiger Moth just felt like a fantastic aircraft to use here. You can see the wash over there. But we're going to be heading over there next. We're actually going to look at an RAF bombing range and see how that looks in the sim. I haven't seen it in 2024. I've seen it in 2020, but it's RAF Holbeach, and it's worth having a quick look. Just one of those funny little things that you see from time to time. That's Wisbech, just down there. Of course, this area of the country is covered in canals, used for obviously for transport. drainage, but you can see this is obviously very flat country that was also reclaimed thanks to the help of the Dutch, who are experts at this kind of thing. Many years ago, I'm not going to give you a history lesson because I don't know enough about it, but that is my recollection of what went on. So Fenland is on the nose, and I think I can see it. I think that might be it there, unless I'm probably imagining it. Flying and looking at a map at the same time. Wind is 7 knots from 8-9, so we'll take runway 08, the grass. So I'm just going to wing it round. Check if everything looks good. Over there, as I can see it on a little nav map. But now, and I thought I saw it, but is that it? Is that it? I feel like any minute now I'm going to say, it's there, you idiot. Okay, let's use the map to guide us. I keep seeing things, and in my head I'm thinking, is that it? Okay, let's turn in. My God, there it is. You see what I mean? Now you see what I mean. Camouflaged so well. But as you can see, it's another little gem from Burning Blue. Wonderful little place. Right, let's keep an eye on that runway. Don't want to lose it again because that could be embarrassing. Right, we're going to do a quick run in and brake. We will land. I think I was going to do a touch and go. I think because of the length of the runway, I'm going to do a full stop and then taxi back and then take off again. I'm not convinced that we've got enough space there with my rusty skills to do a touch and go that doesn't involve ending up in a hedge somewhere. So we'll just do a quick show off to the crowd. Okay, let's concentrate now. So back on the throttle a bit more. Let's have the prop fully forward. Gently. Keep an eye on the runway. Watching the speed. Let's have the canopy open now, just in case we have to jump out. Safety first. Let's dangle the Dunlops. Check speed. Check speed. Speed's high. We'd need a nice curved approach so we can see the runway. Right, that's nice. Now we can see everything. Now we will drop the flappage. Keep an eye on the runway. the speed. Fields and back on the stick and brake, there we go. A few people spilt their tea, I should think. Let's raise the flap very quickly and then we'll tool down to the end. Quick check of the temps. We're quite hot, so let's have the manual. I must bind that to a switch so I don't have to keep bending down. So we'll just tool to the end of the runway now, take off, and head up to Wickenby. Yeah, it's quite a tight little runway. That certainly tight for doing a touch and go. There is an art to the a good curved warbird approach. Without a doubt, it is not easy, and I definitely need to get some more practice in at that. I used to be able to just put it wherever I wanted it, where I wanted it, no problem at all. And that's not me boasting, that's me pointing out the fact that new sim updates and time spent away from it can suddenly, you lose that knack. It's just getting the sight picture, the feel of the aircraft, all that kind of thing, getting all that back again. Right, let's line her up. Okay, let's get some trim sorted out. Quick check of the temperature, we are rather hot. Trim, and a quick look around at everything. Mixtures where it should be, props where it should be. Let's go. RPM. There's Fenland. I did click on that, but it didn't take for some reason. There we go. And so we bid farewell to Fenland. Lovely little place, isn't it? Get a bit low so we can get a bit more of that detail in. But yeah, you can see you've got a nice little cafe, all the buildings. And a Harvard. Is that a Harvard or a Chippy? I can't tell from here. Oh, I don't think it is a Harvard. I don't know why I saw a Harvard. I've got Harvard on the brain at the moment. It's another one of the aircraft that I so desperately want in the sim. Okay, up to Wickenby, which isn't far at all. Just up the road here. And Wickenby was an RAF bomber base. So Old Buckenham being the Americans and Wickenby was the Brits. Wellingtons and Lancs. There's another museum here as well, actually. Again, lots of history. That's what is great about these places that Burning Blue choose. They've got so much history themselves, and it's wonderful to see them in the sim. It's just like one giant aircraft carrier. This whole area, Norfolk and Lincolnshire. It's hard to imagine just what it must have been like during during the busiest times in World War II, when the air would have just been full of aircraft coming out of these places. Excuse me. Right, quick look at the controls. I can come back on the RPM a bit. Quick look down here. That's all good. Haven't done anything silly. Oh, we're not going to Wickenby. I just remembered. We're going to the bombing range. I was so excited and distracted by Fenland, I completely forgot that we'd got a waypoint on the map, which is this bombing range. So let's have a look at that. Just coming over a bit so that we can have a proper look. Because I believe there it is. Yeah, you can just see it out in the water. I love how realistic the tone of colours in the water is. I'm not an artist, so I don't know how better to put it, but the shading, the colours in the water is so damn realistic. Full immersion. There's the canal. I promise you, if you love the Warbird videos on this channel, I promise you I'm going to do more of this sort of thing. I know I've been remiss. I've been doing a lot of live streaming with helicopters and that kind of thing, and I have been neglecting the Warbirds, and I'm the first to admit. And to you, faithful Warbird viewer, I apologise. We will do more. There it is. There's one target. We have no bombs today, and we will just pull a silly face at you instead. Okie doke, now we're going to go to Wickenby. Messing about, getting carried away, looking at Fenland, forgetting that I planned in a route. So unprofessional. Detail on the channels there. God, this sim is amazing. Absolutely amazing. Still getting a few little stutters. I have tried to do some optimization with since I installed SU2. I've deleted shaders and NVIDIA shaders and all that kind of good stuff. But just getting the odd little stutter. Apart from that, it's incredibly smooth. We're getting really good frames. Quite happy with that. And I guess the odd stutter every now and again is just one of those things that us flight sim peeps are very much used to. Just par for the course. Okay, let's have a quick check at all our bits and bobs. Temperature's good. Oil pressure's good, oil temperature is good, boost is fine, RPM can just come back a little bit more trim. There we go. Everything's handling nicely. Gorgeous aeroplane. So much with Warbirds. And the FlyingIron crop I am just a big fan of. The heart. See, I nearly said it again. Harvard. Hellcat. The Hellcat. And then of course we've got the 109 and the 190. I must admit I don't fly the 109 much, but I was rather taken by the 190, so I need to get that into my 2024 and do some more flying with that. This is one of the great things about 2024. You get distracted by scenery that you can just have a look at. It is quite wonderful. So we're going to be flying quite close to Coningsby, and that's a reminder to myself I've not got the Coningsby scenery installed yet. Of course, Coningsby is home to the Battle of Britain Memorial Flight, and I had the great pleasure, thanks to Authenticate, of visiting the Battle of Britain Memorial Flight and seeing their flight simulator that Authenticate have supplied controls for, and that was such an incredible experience. But yeah, I definitely need to get that scenery installed. I think Coningsby now is payware. I don't think, I know it's payware. Nick B007. He also has done the Lossymouth, RAF Lossymouth that I use for my helicopter. He does some beautiful RAF bases, so I need to get hold of that. Coningsby over there. At least there's plenty of autogen. Let's have a look, actually. Interested to see what it looks like in autogen, because it's been so long since I've seen what it just looks like from the Asobo version. A lot of the buildings are obviously there, but they will just be autogen. At least we can get an idea. It, well, yeah, looks absolutely crap compared to Nick's one, but you can just see the, the Battle of Britain Memorial Flight hangar there, looking nothing like it does in real life, but at least the basic layout is there. Okay. Thank you, Coningsby, for letting us have a little look. If we were on ATC now, we'd be thanking them for allowing us into their airspace. Right, Wickenby, here we come for another landing. And this time we will be stopping off for a brew. Wings, well, they are conic. So, what are you flying at the moment? Let me know in the chat. Always interested to know what people are flying. If you're a warbird enthusiast, which I imagine you might well be if you're still watching at this point, what is your favourite warbird? Aeroplane Heaven have recently obviously released their prototype of Mark 1 pack, which I'll be honest, I've not been tempted by, but interested to know what your experiences of that are. Still quite lucky with the weather. Wind hasn't changed a great deal. 8-knot tailwind at the moment. Quick look down, temperatures and pressures all good. Just trim her a little bit. Trim is your friend and all that. So we can be not far ahead now. Should be a little bit easy to spot. I'm just going to quickly have a look across at the old map. So wind where we are now is 108, 5 knots. Looking to see what it's doing. this one. Probably going to take runway 15, I think. Great little place. There's the runway. It's got a small runway on the old bomber runway. Yeah, let's have a look. So you can see there that certainly how you can see where the old runways used to. I mean, that's the beauty of the detail. Look at that. You can see where the old runways were, and the Lancs and the Wellingtons, and there's Wickenby itself. Again, because in 2024 the LOD details popping in as you get quite close to it, but gives you a good idea, doesn't it? Okay, what was I saying that we were going to do? I think I said 15, didn't I? So again, we will follow procedure. We will do a run in and brake on runway 15, and then we will land. The optimism in the voice there. Again, that fisheye lens effect does my head in. I must remember I need to somehow set my zoom so I think it's a little bit more in and you don't get so much of a fisheye effect. So that does my nut in when I'm used to not having it. Show them the wang. Gorgeous. Right. Concentrate. Back on the power. Forward on the old prop. Gently. Faffing about with the canopy and the hatch. Check speed. Let's have the flappage. Happy with that at all. Not happy with that at all. Just didn't feel right. Probably didn't look right either, eh? Also open the radiator because we are heating things up by messing about like this. We do need to focus on getting on the ground rather quickly so that we don't roast the old girl. Right, let's have flat now, check the speed. To the right again. Go around. Love it. This is what it's about. Practice makes perfect. You don't learn a damn thing unless you practice. Down. Check speed. Flat down. Right again. Awful. Go around. That was not a good one by any stretch of the imagination, and the purists are probably wincing at the fact that I opened up full throttle and lifted off the runway when we were at such a low speed, but it was either that or smash into the trees, and when it comes to a situation like that, you do not hang about. This is what I find fascinating about flying aircraft like this, is that for whatever reason, I don't know if it's the side picture, I don't know if it's the fact that we've got a bit of a crosswind now. Wind is actually changed. I'm just looking at the wind now. We've actually got a 7 knot crosswind. In fact, the wind has changed. Okay. We are on the wrong runway. Can't even say the word. Looking at the wind now at this altitude, we should actually be taking 03. So let's take 03. Let's see if yeah, oh wow, that explains it. Well, it doesn't. I'm just crap at landing the Spitfire. I need to practice it a bit more. But if right now the wind, yeah, let's see how this one goes. Okay, gear down. I wonder if I'm tipping in a bit too close to the runway, maybe. Flat down, check speed, too fast, too high, too fast. Down any time now would be quite handy. Now we're down. Stick back, brakes on, off the end of the runway. There you go. Well, we weren't off too much, but still, that's enough to embarrass yourself when you go in and get a cup of tea afterwards. But there you go, that's the challenge of flying warbirds. Love it. Absolutely love it. Why did we go off the end of the runway very simply because that should have been another go around situation, but I decided instead to keep us going in, which was a silly thing to do, and I had way too much speed, way too much height, and should have had another crack at it, but I thought we've got to end this video at some point, haven't we? But that is the joy and the challenge of flying warbirds, and I commend it to you if it's something you've not done. It is such good fun, it's so rewarding. It really is. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the video, I hope you enjoyed that look at Old Buckenham, and thanks again to Burning Blue Design for giving me the opportunity to fly your wonderful scenery in the sim. It really is such an utter treat. Wow, gotta love the Spitfire. Why are you still open? There we go. Peace and quiet descends. Anyway, thanks for joining, and I shall see you again on the channel very soon. Take care now. Bye bye.